Okay, this is day 171, and I thought I'd show everybody what I was doing on a map and maybe easier to understand, this being Washington, this being Northern Virginia here. You're going to see places Imran Awan worked up here in purple, rentals he owns here in black. This is more the Springfield area. This is Falls Church where I am now, where I was at the mosque, not far away from here. And then you're going to see this kind of high-end home where I talked to the Marine who said he had been lied to by Imran. This is the nice big 5-bedroom mansion, or not mansion, but it's pretty nice. It's where I believe Hina Alvi still is, his wife, and I believe they have a child there. And then you're going to see, I believe the beginning and end of this story begins in Woodbridge down here, Virginia, and also a blood spot here in Manassas. There was a good reason I went there yesterday. So to tell the whole story, and I'll just try to say it verbally so we don't have to go to the pictures, but Soraya Begum starts Nanoset here in 2002. That is going to be actually, I know this, I know they sold technology, that company sold technology to Biofan in 2006. Basically, it was some MRI patents. I believe that Nanoset is this, because there is a Nanoset technology seminar in Lahore, Pakistan, and she is the Minister of Cultural Affairs. I believe this was a cutout here in the U.S. to get technology from different companies in the Beltway area and then send it to Pakistan to steal intellectual property. When you're running an operation like that, stealing intellectual property, and that's what I believe Nanoset has been doing since 2002, since 9/11, you're going to need muscle occasionally. Some people are going to talk, some people are going to want to sue you, some people are going to create problems. You're also going to want to create what they call proprietaries. Proprietaries are ways that people can come in, they can stay at a house and not create a lot of footprints. You're also going to need not only housing, but you're going to need to get them a car. So you're going to need somebody who's got a transportation company that's going to be able to haul cars around, put cars on consignment, etc. So there's other things they're going to need as well, but those are the two big things. You don't want any footprints there. You know, obviously all the things related to the home and the car, you don't want footprints either. You don't want cable and electric bills in anybody's name. You don't want insurance or driver's licenses in anybody's name. So those are the two biggies. So I'll get back to this, but I believe the enforcer was Mahmoud. I mean, he was the registered agent for Nanoset, so why wouldn't I think that? Soraya Begum makes Mahmoud, the Manassas killer, I believe the Pakistani national who was involved in killing a car dealer in Richmond. Why wouldn't I associate the two? She associated him as the registered agent, and you can see how close they are physically. Now, in between here is another location that they registered to the company, and they tried to change this later, this Manor Court, but there is no such address in Alexandria, and it's actually right here in between the two of them. And this is basically is right next to the El Salvador embassy. So the MO, and again, you always have to look at records and what the modus operandi is and what the history is. The MO is that he goes over and picks up guys at the El Salvadorian embassy. They always say they're Guatemalan gang members if they're ever caught, but these are El Salvador folks. And this goes all the way back to Iran-Contra, where we were funding the El Salvadorian Contras. So this, if there hadn't been an Amjad Awan, if there hadn't been a history with Hillary and Mina Airport and working with the Contras, I probably wouldn't give credence to this theory, but given the fact that it's right there, also the Virginia Lottery is right there, so they can launder the funds through a large bank account, Virginia Lottery. You've also got Kaiser Woodbridge there, and everywhere this comes up, you just keep seeing Kaiser, 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 Kaiser. So, and I don't know if that's an homage to the Kaiser, but it does seem to be this group of people who have this odd concept of eugenics, with organ harvesting. But anyway, that's more of an aside. I'm just going to say that this is the beginning point in 2002 of Nanoset, and the end point here is this murder in 2015. Now what happens is he hires these two Guatemalan quote-unquote mechanics, which is a euphemism in the spy trade for murderers. They go down and suffocate and strangle and suffocate the car dealer, a Muslim car dealer in Richmond, and then they come back here and they change their clothes here at this affordable housing. This is another Hina Alvi house here, or near here in Manassas. And then they're paid $6,000 by Mahmoud here. So there's another car dealer here. I won't go into who that car dealer is, but I think there's a network of about 5 or 6 cars. I think if you're going to go back to Goal Transport, G-O-A-L, which is his company, you're going to find he was carrying cars all around here. What they're doing is they're putting cars on consignment, so there's no trace when these folks come in to get cars. Okay, so that covers the beginning and end. Now the middle here really is all these rentals around Springfield. All these rentals are, and Dis is right in the middle of these. And I went to all these different places, and they all say they've only seen Imran. I've never seen any of the other brothers, only Imran. A lot of them say they saw him 2 weeks ago. At the Annandale house, they said they saw him 2 weeks ago. The Marine here says he talked to Imran, like last month. And again, being lied to. Now, here's the 2 places Imran worked. He first worked at Cellplan. Cellplan is a company that does video surveillance and all kinds of different cell phone surveillance in Reston. And then, of course, being very close to, the Beltway and so forth, Beltway Technologies. And LCC does similar things, specializes in WiMAX, but you certainly would be able to place routers or, into cell phone infrastructure to do hacking and so forth. So you can see that the setup here is about a bunch of proprietaries, what the CIA calls them. So again, much like down here where in 2002 to 2010 they were using this house, and of course they were trashing the house, trashing the kitchen. You heard that interview yesterday. It's just going to be the same story over here. These are the kind of the lower end houses. There are people coming and going all the time. The yard isn't as well kept and so forth. And this is where you're going to find Imran actually living. I know his wife is going to be living in that neighborhood right now. I don't know if Imran is here or if he's up here in Falls Church, staying with a friend and working out of the mosque, which is what I believe is happening currently. Imran's going to be needing to go over the bridge here to Maryland to meet with Soraya Begum. They're still doing things. Now, you also notice that Omar makes one phone call to one person and says, "I'm not related to those other 3 Awan brothers." And so everybody drops the case. Well, that's not how actually investigation works. When somebody says, "Hey, I'm making $146,000 a year," and I'm talking about Omar now, and I also run the PeopleSoft application for all of Congress, that's a position of a person who could create fake names and fake paychecks if there wasn't adequate counting controls. Imran, for instance, could rename himself Omar. He could create an Abid, because Abid also used Omar's name, quizzically enough, and he could create Jamal. So he could have these interns coming in and say, "Oh, well, that was Jamal, and that was Muhammad Ali, this is Muhammad Ali Omar," and all these different, Muhammad Ali Awan, all these different people coming through Congress, and they're all getting money. And they're all being paid $160,000 a year. To me, that looks like a financial anomaly, and anomalies usually are audited. So the key question I'm going to have today when I'm going to probably go to the Longworth office building is who is Omar Awan's boss? Why is Imran Awan still working for Debbie Wasserman Schultz? With all these things. I've been to the facility here in Lorton. I had a United States Marine look me straight in the eye and said, "Yes, I saw the government tags on this. They were stolen laptops. They were stolen Blackberries. They were stolen toner cartridges." Now, toner cartridges is something that's called a consumable in the drug business, and what you come back every month, basically. Well, it's a great device to put the drugs in. You take the old toner cartridge. That's where the money is. It's the same thing it used to be with business uniforms. That was the old joke. The business uniform business. So any kind of consumable is a perfect cover for the drug business, and that's why I think the toner cartridges were there. But I've had this Marine who was look me straight in the eye and say that stolen equipment was there, and he called the FBI. Now the FBI is not admitting to this being an investigation. Why? Why would that person under FBI investigation still be working for a congresswoman in Congress? I just don't understand how that could be the case. I don't understand why Omar Awan why we don't know more about who his boss is. When was he hired? When was he reviewed? And can we see his picture? Because if he looks exactly like Imran Awan, I'm going to go ahead and jump out on a limb and say that they're the same person. Okay, that's for this morning. We're going to go back to the mosque. We're going to probably see if we can talk to somebody to the mosque, see if the Awans ever were a member of that mosque, the 9/11 mosque I'm talking about, that I was at last night. And then I'm going to probably go to Lightbridge Communications, ask the same questions there if they've ever seen Imran, and I'm going to go to Cell Plan and ask if they've ever seen Imran. Okay, that's today's plan.